completely gave into what society told me I was supposed to do and dated the guy I was supposed to be with, you know, to make everyone else happy. My dad was happy, his parents were happy, everyone else was happy, and I was just completely dying inside. I don't know what happened. It was just, you know, I dated a few guys like from high school until I got out of college, and every relationship ended the exact same way. I was always left hurt. I was always left. I was always cheated on. I was, I don't know, it was like I felt like I had something written on my forehead that basically said, you know, if you're a shitty guy, like, come talk to me. If you're married, come hit on me. If you have a girlfriend, come talk to me. If you're a guy who wants to be with me but still wants to be with a bunch of other girls, like, come talk to me, because that's what all my relationships were. I've been cheated on by probably 90% of the guys I've dated. I've been left for no apparent reasons, like, and it just, I don't know, it's like, it's kind of like if you're told something enough times, if you're made to feel a certain way enough times, then you start believing it. After a while, you just, if you get knocked down enough times, like, you start staying in that lull, you start staying in that valley and start analyzing yourself, like, well, what's wrong with me? Like, you know, why am I not good enough? Why, you know, why are these relationships not working out? And, you know, not even just not working out, why am I being left for other girls? Like, what do they have that I don't have? And, you know, am I too nice? Am I not giving enough? Am I not fun enough? Am I too business oriented? Am I not jealous enough? I mean, you know, it just, I'm still to this day, I can't figure it out. But 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago, I met a guy who, he was fantastic. He was a great guy, the guy that, you know, every dad wants their daughter to marry, every girl wants to marry. I mean, he had the job, he had the house, he had the family, he had the dogs. I mean, he had the money. I mean, he had everything you're supposed to have. And, you know, once a girl, I think, starts getting into her late 20s and all her friends are getting married, all her friends are starting to have babies, and you're still single, and then a guy like this comes along, you just, in my mind, I was just trying to, like, well, maybe this is what it's supposed to be. Maybe, you know, this is what you're supposed to have, and I tried to make it work. And I dated the guy. He proposed 6 months after we were together. We started planning this wedding. I moved into his house. We had the perfect life. You know, everyone around us thought we had this perfect relationship, and behind it, I was miserable. I literally cried probably every single day for a year. None of my relationships have worked out before, and here this guy is who completely adores me and loves me and would do anything for me, and I know I could trust, which at the time and still to this day is huge, because finding someone you can trust, it seems like such a rarity. Someone you can fully, wholeheartedly trust. And mind you, coming out of relationships where 9 out of 10 of them cheated on you, it's a pretty big thing. Knowing what I was about to face, knowing that I was about to let not only him down, his family, my friends, like, all the money that had already been spent, like, all the people who had already bought plane tickets to come in. I mean, it wasn't even just our money, it was like everyone else's money and time and energy, and, you know, everyone was supposed to be here, like, literally 1 week away from the wedding, and here I am calling it off. But I feel like in that moment, if you're ever going to be selfish, like, that's the time to be selfish. Like, if something inside of you is telling you, no, this is not right, you need to listen to that. The next year, up until a couple of months ago, I was just completely numb. Like, emotionally completely numb, like, to love and relationships, and it took a whole lot out of me. But in looking back, I know I made the right decision. You have to figure out what's right for you, hold true to that, and just know that your patience and your perseverance and everything is going to pay off, and one day you will meet the right person, and it'll all make sense and it'll all be worth it. But, you know, what I want other people to get out of this is that there's no reason to settle. Like, settling early on and being miserable the rest of your life, or just having some patience and waiting for the right person, it's going to pay off tenfold. I mean, there is true love out there, and there's no reason to rush your life. Like, just live today and be patient and wait for true love, and you're going to be blissfully happy, more happy than you could ever imagine yourself being. I mean, like I said earlier on, I'm not the girl that dates, guy after guy after guy. And my standards are extremely high, and the reason being is because my parents have been together 35 years, and my mom still waits by the door for my dad to get home from work. Like, I have such an incredible example of what true love is that I will not settle for less. I won't. I'm not going to give into it. I don't want my husband to be a roommate. I don't want my husband to be just a friend who I hang out with and, we get along, but there's no passion. Like, no, I want the fairy tale. My advice would be, it's okay to have everything you're supposed to have and not be happy. Like, I think everyone needs to realize that happiness doesn't come from things. It doesn't come from somebody else. It doesn't come from, money or the house or the job or a relationship or somebody else, a friend, a boyfriend, a husband, a fiance. If you're looking for your happiness in those things, you're never going to be happy. Like, you have to be 100% happy with yourself. You have to 100% love yourself before you can find happiness in anything else. If you are someone who have given into what everyone else has told you you're supposed to have and you're not happy, don't feel alone in that, and know that that feeling is okay. Like, you don't have to give into what everyone else says that you're supposed to have. You don't have to get married just because 4 of your best friends just got married. You don't have to have a baby just because 3 of your best friends are about to have a baby. Like, you need to figure your life out. You need to figure you out. You need to figure out what makes you happy, and then just let someone come into your life at the right time, and it'll just work. And I 100% wholeheartedly believe in that when you're right with yourself, then the right person's going to come along. I'm not willing to settle for anything less than, just bliss. I won't. And if it takes a year, if it takes 5 years, if it takes 20 years, 50 years, like, that's okay. It's worth it to know that you finally found that right person who's going to treat you how you're supposed to be treated, and in return, you're going to treat how they're supposed to be treated, and it's just going to make sense, and it's going to work, and it's going to be